Welcome to the boardroom, ladies and gentlemen, powered by the Fandom Menace. We are the boardroom. I am PDD Etep Wokuian, in a place to be right here with all the yous. How you doing? Good Wednesday evening, April 22nd, 2020. Still in that 420 month. I don't know. I'm still celebrating my birthday this week. So, yeah. How you doing, Cody? Commander Cody from Goober Brothers Entertainment.
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, Pete?
Excellent, man. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, glad to be here, man. Great to have another boardroom episode so we can bullshit, talk, and figure out some cool shit.
Have some fun. Have some fun tonight. That's what we're going to do. We're going to Wang Chung and have fun tonight. And joining us at the bottom half of the screen with the beautiful action figure setup down there, none other than the Don of 2 Cents Toys. Hail, Salvador.
Hello and salutations, it's me, Salvador. As you see, we are holding back Cody from these clankers that are fucking laughing at him. It's okay, Cody, the war's over. You can go home.
The war's never over, okay? Damn it, they took my family.
He says, not in my head, the war's still going.
That's right. It is my fault that we are late because about, I don't know what you say, 10 minutes ago my laptop decided to shit itself and have to do a hard reset. So, but we're here and we're ready to rock and roll.
All those OnlyFans subscriptions you got, man.
Yeah. Well, I got to keep the people happy.
That's right, man. You got there's a lot of hungry, starving young women out there that need that $15 a month.
Yeah, well, it's because they're quarantined, so they can't get all these fucking simps to buy them avocado toast, so they got to make their bread somewhere else.
Oh God, that's the truth. I lost my screen here.
I don't even like avocados, so I'm like far from basic.
I didn't like. Well, let me say this. I didn't like avocado for a long time. It was a consistency thing. Like, I look at it and expect it to be kind of crunchy, and it was just like soft like Play-Doh. And I still don't like avocado by itself, but what turned me around on that, there was this burger joint where I went to college that I was there, my entire tenure of college and didn't even know it existed. And so two of my professors that I became very close to when I was leaving the area took me out to dinner, and we went there, and they had this burger, and it was like this fat ass black Angus beef burger, and it had jalapeno cheese, bacon, and avocado on it. And I was like, that sounds weird, and I tried it, and I was like, this is fucking delicious. And so now I can eat avocado on things, but avocado by itself, no dice.
You can miss me with that fucking mega seed looking shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I like some. I don't know. I've had avocado on my burgers before. Like, it's not. I'm not like crazy about it, but I don't mind it like every now and then.
Mm-hmm. I also don't like that 15-second window where it's actually good enough to eat until it just becomes too ripe.
Yeah. It goes like quick too.
Mm-hmm. As soon as you cut it, about 30 seconds later, it starts turning brown. You're like, well, okay.
I couldn't relate to that, so whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like lettuce. Like, even though lettuce gets a little brown around the edges, you can still eat it, but it's very off-putting visually.
I don't even like lettuce.
I'm a big. I like various types of lettuce.
I like lettuce.
I like arugula and kale and all that kind of shit. I like the super bitter stuff.
See, I can do kale, but as far as lettuce, get that shit out of my face.
No, I don't like kale.
No, get out of here. I
don't
can't
like
do
kale.
it.
I don't like kale, and I don't like spinach. I can't.
Love raw spinach.
No.
So if you ever need to take a shit quick, fast, and in a hurry, eat about a handful of raw spinach. You'll be on the toilet.
Yeah, I made that mistake on the sub once. It's weird. I saw a commercial for asparagus earlier, I was like,
"What? A commercial for asparagus?"
Yes, asparagus is freaking great, but if you want your pee to smell funny,
yeah,
dude, seriously, like you eat asparagus and your pee smells weird for like hours. It
I know
does.
I sound like the pickiest eater, but I don't like asparagus either. Like everything we've named, I just don't like it. Like, and I swear I'm not the basic chick that's like, I only like mac and cheese and Dr.
And,
Pepper.
and chicken
Like, no,
nuggets.
Cheeky nuggies.
I love my chicken nuggies, baby.
Yeah,
I know.
I tell you, I love
Chalky
asparagus to the point where I'll eat raw asparagus like just straight out of the fucking refrigerator.
Dude, you're like Dwight Schrute, bro. Just taking those full bites of beets,
Eating
bro.
beets.
That's the thing. Like I despise beets.
Me too.
They taste like dirt. No matter what I do to them, they just
Yep.
taste like dirt.
Dude, I've
Like-
had pickled eggs with like in that beet juice. Ugh.
Oh, gross.
Oh, so bad.
You lost me at pickled eggs.
Yeah.
My grandma's a Yankee. She likes that shit. So I'm like, okay. And I tried one day, and yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Oh, let's
Admiral
see.
Tiberius says he's hearing so much heresy. Shame, shame.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like when you move around as much as I do, you move to a lot of different areas that have their niche little like delicacies. Like up in New England, there's a thing called a fluffernutter, which is
Yes,
fucking
bro.
delicious.
Yes.
But or like, and this is probably telling people exactly where the fuck I'm from. But apparently, this is like a thing only in my hometown because everyone else looks at me like I'm fucking stupid. And they do that. I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you at school they do this. Like even at the hot lunch in middle school, high school, they give you this. So we get chili, and where I grew up, you take a peanut butter sandwich and you dip it in your chili.
Mm.
Everyone looks at me like I'm fucking stupid, but my hometown is like even if you go over to the other side of the river and in the next town, they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And everyone kind of turns their nose at it, and it's fucking delicious. I will put my hand on any religious text you want, and I will swear by it.
I like now. I'll take a slice of bread and put peanut butter on it and eat it with spaghetti.
That sounds really good.
What is happening here?
It
We
is
went
fuck-
from like
it
normal
is-
foods to like this shit.
Dude, well, first of all, man, I'm usually fucking stoned, so
True.
I can fucking. Oh shit! Look it. There's my background tonight.
Hell yeah.
I forgot I put on the green screen thing.
Fuck yeah.
I think it's cool.
You
So-
can kind of see me moving around behind there. But yeah, so I fucking I love that, man. One of my exes, her dad used to do that, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "Just try it." So I'm like, "All right, try it." I'm like, "Oh shit, this is delicious. I've done this for years." And yeah, dude, I get people looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. It's so good though.
Yeah, I come up with shit all the time. Like one of my favorite things to do is I take a tortilla, and I think I've told you about this before, Pete.
Yes.
I take a little tortilla, I put it in the microwave for like, I don't know, 10 seconds just to make it warm, but not so warm that it gets wet on the bottom. And then I take peanut butter and I smear it up and I roll it up and then put it in the microwave for about 10 more seconds. So that way when you eat it, it's a warm tortilla and all the peanut butter is like warm and gooey in the middle. It's delicious. Basically, I'm just talking about different vehicles to get peanut butter into my mouth.
Not bad. Not bad. I like that. My buddy on road trips in college, we'd be all crammed in this little van trying to go across the fucking state of Florida to go play. And my buddy would just bring a fucking thing of tortillas. He'd bring some peanut butter and honey, and he'd just take a knife with him, and he would just straight up make these like peanut butter and honey rolled up tortillas and just pass them along the van to all of my teammates.
Hell yeah.
We were just freaking grubbing out all the way down to like what Lakeland or Tampa or Miami or whatever.
Hell yeah. Speaking of tortillas, if you want to like what sounds kind of like this dessert that I did, like I'm sure it's probably been done before, but I didn't have a whole lot in the house. And you know the whole cinnamon toast thing that you can make? Like you just make some toast, put some cinnamon on it.
Oh yeah.
So I took a tortilla, right? I put it in the frying pan with a little bit of butter on the bottom, just enough so it didn't stick, and then just enough butter to kind of coat the top of it. And while it was in there, I put brown sugar on it, put cinnamon on it, and I had a little icing cup left over from Domino's, and I drizzled that all over it.
Oh my god.
And then I put just about a tablespoon of honey, just kind of drizzled that over there, and then some powdered sugar and rolled that bitch up when I was done.
Oof.
Holy fuck! I had the sugar after that. I think I take my foot off.
Yep. I lost a foot. That's great because, like I said, I told you guys this. I got Trey. He either says the beatus or he says the sugar. Like I say, told my dad, he goes, "You got the beatus, Grandpa." Dad just fucking laughing, looks at me, "You son of a bitch." I told him I got the diabetes. Yep.
I thought I was on your side.
Grandpa got the beatus. Said, yep. I told Trey, I was like, you keep eating them fucking Sour Patch Kids, I'm gonna cut your foot off too. You and Grandpa are gonna be hobbling around together.
Oh, I love Sour Patch Kids.
Dude, I got a fucking 5-pound bag of them right before the lockdown. I was in Walmart today. Like, dude, let me tell you what. It is Orwellian as a motherfucker out there right now. Like, I'm not even joking, dude. Like, in Walmart, they play like shit over the speakers, like, thank you for social distancing and all this. Like, seriously, man, it was fucking creepy. I'm listening to it, and it's like, please remember to stand 6 feet apart. You are helping everybody. And it's like, Jesus Christ. And it's always like the mantra at the end, we're in this together. We're in this together. I'm like, I was walking around the store with my goddamn sunglasses on, looking at people going, which one of you motherfuckers is it? I know I got the glasses on. Which one of you is it?
Everyone's collectively chanting, we're in this together.
That's why they were all looking at me funny with my glasses on.
Dude, so you know how when you walk up to a Walmart, there is an exit and an entrance door right next to each other? For some reason, they're backwards of normal like
Yep.
traffic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like my Walmart here locally has gotten to the point where they put up like little delta barriers and
Yes.
separated with traffic cones, and like there's like a serpentine pattern to get to the
Yep.
door and shit, and
Yep.
they spray painted footprints on the ground so people
Yes.
can have to wait. And I'm like, good lord.
Dude, the one in Holton Lake has that, like, the rent a fence and shit up there today. You know, or the one that's the one by my house. The one I went to today is like another city over, and they have the same thing. It's like that, like you said, that serpentine pattern to get in with the rented, like the steel fence, and they had like caution tape up blocking off like ends of it. You can only go in one way and out the other. Like it's fucking, like I said, man, it's like Orwellian shit. Like they have social distancing things like on the floor on the tiles now.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. What kills me is that they have them at the register too. Like they have like the 6 feet things.
Yep.
But then everyone just collects like gaggle fucks at the first one, and it's like, good job, guys.
Yeah, dude, I pissed this lady off behind me because like I refused to walk up to the belt until the other gal was done, you know, getting all her shit done, just because she had to walk back to the credit card machine. And hey, man, I didn't have gloves or a mask. And like my theory on the gloves is I'm gonna stop wearing them because you're basically cross contaminating anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you use hand sanitizer and shit, which I carry on me, and as soon as I come home, my clothes go right in the dirty clothes anyway. I just change. So, you know, it's fucking, it's just, dude. Yeah. Well, hey, what up, Franchise History TV? He says, I don't like going anywhere now. Too many sheeple. Yeah, man. It's like I said, I'm cautious about it just because like I'm going to see my mom tomorrow. She just got out of the hospital. You know, I'm going to wear a mask when I go see her because she's very susceptible to this shit. You know, even if I'm not, you know, she is. So I have to be careful. And, you know, it's just like, I'm just trying to be careful. I'm not like, you know, living in fear, but, you know, I'm just cautious, man. It's just like flu season, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. But it was just kind of jarring. Like it's just Orwellian. It's complete. Like it just kind of, I was like, wow, man. I'm like, these people are just, the whole thing. Like I said, the messages over the PA and everything else. And like they said, the marks on the floor and the entrance, you know, snaking people in and out. And, you know, I mean, it's crazy. It is absolute craziness out there right now. And Franchise History says, yeah, the media scared the dude. Yeah, the news. I watch the local news in the morning, and I found out the one comic book shop that's like within 40 miles of me is doing a thing like you can call them, and they're donating money for masks for healthcare workers. All right. So you call and they'll ship you 6 comics. You tell them what you want, and they'll ship you 6 comics for a flat rate. And then they donate part of the proceeds to this mask project, which is really cool. So I'm gonna order a couple bundles of comics tomorrow from them. Yeah, they're I've never been into the shop, but I've seen them on the news because the news station I follow, they're in that city where that station's at. It's like a Fox affiliate, and they always go over there for free comic book day and everything. So I like to support businesses like that. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'll order a couple bundles of comics and be happy with it. I actually got an issue of the new Warriors, not the Kibblesmith New Warriors, the 1990s New Warriors.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna read that to Trey tomorrow. He's excited to read that. So
It seems like small businesses, like the ones that are hurting the most, are the ones doing the most about any of this. It's almost as if they care more about their community than some mega corporation, without getting too political.
No, absolutely. No, and yeah, we all have our, yeah, that's it, man. These, and these are the stores that we need to support. These local comic book shops and stuff like that, man. It's sad to see them all. A lot of them have shut down. It really is. Like I said, in this area, there was only like two within. You go 40 miles one way and there's one, 40 miles west and there's one. That's it. So, and one of them closed. So now it's like I got one, and I can order from them at least. So, yeah.
My local comic book shop's been doing like Facebook Live videos, and they've been, I guess, auctioning off different comic books and stuff like that. So they've been like setting up a table, and there's like 3 little comic book stands, and it's like, okay, we got issue whatever something of Thor from the Silver Age. It's like, oh shit. So they've been like giving out some cool stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot of comic book shops. At least the ones that I used to frequent. They have some really high ticket items. Like the one that I used to go to all the time in college has the first Spider-Man, but you wouldn't know that they have it because they don't publicly display it because they don't want people to just walk in and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna come rob this place later."
Yeah,
because it's not in the best neighborhood. So that kind of stuff you have to ask. So I feel like a lot of these comic book shops are kind of digging deep now into their back pool. Like, hey, we have some really, heavy hitters in terms of back catalog. So let's go ahead and actually pull those out and try to sell them, even though they're going to take a massive hit in the current climate. But
yeah, that's what I want to. I don't want anything new. I'm going to tell him, because he says, well, what do you want? I'm like, nothing too expensive, but some older stuff, that it's not going to break the bank, but I'll be. Nothing. I don't want any. I'll just straight up tell them I don't want any SJW books.
mm-hmm.
I will. I'll be like, that might limit my options a little bit, but.
Well, speaking of going backwards, getting the order stuff, and not wanting SJW crap, what's up with Tessa Thompson?
Oh God, dude. So, Miss Fivehead. And let me acknowledge the chat here real quick. Franchise History TV, Admiral Tiberius, Ray Shield, and Ray's Double Dongs in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us. Raiders Lost Flicks was here earlier. Thank you guys. He's let's see. So apparently Tessa does not like working around white guys. Now,
oh wow.
Pardon me. Now, I might be wrong here, but doesn't that sound a wee bit racist? Just a wee bit racist?
I mean,
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, maybe. I mean, she didn't seem to have a problem working next to fucking Chris Hemsworth for a couple movies.
I don't.
It's almost as if their belief system crumbles apart when they're offered money.
You'd think that. You think it kind of sounds like that, like they don't have an issue with anybody, when they're paid the right amount. But Thor actor Tessa Thompson doesn't want to work with, quote, a bunch of white people and a bunch of men. This from John F. Trent, Bounding into Comics, yesterday, April 21st, 2020. Thor Ragnarok actor Tessa Thompson stated she didn't want to work with a bunch of white people and a bunch of men. YouTuber Mecha Random brought Thompson's comments to our attention in her recent video. Credit to her for that. Mecha Random 42. Thompson's comments were made in November of 2018 while at a European premiere of Creed 2. Well, that's a shame. Let's see, is this it right here? Do we have a God damn it, it keeps zooping over it. Here it is right here. Should we play it?
Do it.
I'm afraid to play it. I don't want to freeze.
It'll be fine.
We're gonna get the stream pulled down.
I know, that's the thing. Just that look on her face right there.
It'll probably run smoothly if you delete all your history of Pornhub.
Okay, this is the thing with my computer, because I have no virus protection on this thing whatsoever. I'm going in raw, like literally.
Yeah.
How do you protect yourself from the big black cables then? That's a deep cut for those playing along at home.
That is a deep cut. I have but the only thing I use it for is recording and uploading my videos and doing this. That's it. Reading articles. So I just the porn is for. I have an old tablet for that. As reported by the by the Press Association and seen above, courtesy of Daily Mail, Thompson stated, "I want to see work that really looks like the world in which we live. So there are lots of people of color. Look around." Thompson added, and it's also really exciting, not just what we put on screen, but also to work inside productions that are inclusive. She then stated, I don't want to show up on set and just see a bunch of white people. No offense. You can't say, wasn't this from The Office? You can't just say no offense and then you say whatever you want, or not to be.
Talladega Nights, with all due respect.
Talladega Nights. Thank you. It was like something like that, but yeah, she added, and I don't want to work in the company of a bunch of men. No offense.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I want to show up on a set and have it look like the world I walk around in every day, which is full of women and people of color and folks with disabilities. I want to make content that feels like both on camera and off it, Thompson stated.
Then she should make documentaries.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, God, I don't really even know where to start with her, but she's part of the reason why I hate Ragnarok. She's so anyway. While discussing her role as Bianca Taylor in Creed, Thompson stated, "I hope we get to a space where there is so much content where women are just what we are, which is multifaceted and dynamic, so it's not noteworthy when one appears in a film."
It's only noteworthy because you make it that way.
I was going to say, I don't think it's noteworthy when a woman appears in a film. I mean, I'm like, okay, what's the movie? I don't care if it's a woman, as long as it's a good movie. That's what these people don't understand. What's really interesting about Thompson's comments is that it doesn't appear that she actually practices what she preaches. Since her comments in 2018, Thompson starred in Avengers Endgame, Men in Black International, Lady and the Tramp, Sylvie's Love, and Westworld Season 3. All feature white people and men. Avengers Endgame featured a number of white actors, including Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Evans, Jeremy Renner, Paul Rudd, Benedict Cumberbatch, Scarlett Johansson, Brie Larson, and Tom Holland.
The film was directed. Coattails to ride on to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the film was directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. All right, so basically, it just goes on. Men in Black International also featured a number of white actors, including Chris Hemsworth, Liam Neeson, Rafe Spall. The movie was written by Matthew Holloway and Art Makem. Lady and the Tramp was directed by Charlie Bean and written by Andrew Bujalski. The film stars Justin Theroux, who's a lucky bastard. He's married to Jennifer Aniston. Sam Elliott, Clancy Brown, James Bentley, Sylvie's Love. Thompson stars a number of men, including Nnamdi Asomugha. Hey, he used to play in the NFL. I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, Nnamdi Asomugha. He was a damn good corner. Tone Bell, Alano Miller, Reg. Is that Reg? Regé, Jean Page, Lance Reddick, John Reggie.
That's French.
John Magar, and Ron Funches. Ron Funches is hilarious. If you've never seen Ron Funches stand up, you're missing out.
That sounds familiar.
He's an actor. He's been on a bunch of shows too, like kind of like a sitcom, like
nighttime. That guy. Okay, I love that guy, dude.
Yep, he's funny.
Hilarious.
Finally, Westworld Season 3 also features a number of men, including Jeffrey Wright, who is playing Commissioner Gordon in The Batman. Ed Harris, Luke Hemsworth, not Chris, Simon Quarterman, Rodrigo Santoro, Jimmy Simpson, Ptolemy Slocum, and Leonardo Nam. Let's see. And as Mecca Random also points out, Disney's executive chairman and former CEO is Bob Iger, and the head of Marvel Studios is Kevin Feige. Mecca Random notes that Thompson, just like Brie Larson, Natalie Portman, and other Hollywood types, like to talk down to the rest of us from their little ivory towers and say some of the most non-self-aware things. Gentlemen, Tessa Thompson, she is what a B-lister at best.
That's giving her a lot of credit. She's been in a lot of good stuff, but I don't think she's ever been the lead in anything.
No, I don't ever remember her being a lead.
She wouldn't be able to maintain a lead really well. I mean, I think she's one of those people that are just strictly going to be a B-list character or
Yeah.
like a side character or something. Like who honestly would want her in a lead role?
Yeah,
I've often said that to the Hollywood elites, I'm sure the world looks much different from their ivory towers and their glass houses.
Probably.
She is virtue signaling to the highest degree. You know, she's just like I said, these folks don't realize that these woke points aren't redeemable for cash value. This is not going to, you're not going to get sainthood out of this. You're not going to, be some transcendent personality just because you think you're morally superior because you're like you said, maybe a C-lister, that's basically standing on the shoulders of everybody around her, trying to use their accomplishments to quote director Krennic.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you stand on the the shoulders of my achievements? Let's see. Lapis Anus is in the chat. Tessa is saying she doesn't want to work in movies anymore, more or the less. Yeah, absolutely. That's what she's telling us. She's basically saying, hey, look, if I'm going to do any movies, it's, well, I'm not going to do movies anymore. I mean, because really, she's not that good of a, she couldn't carry a project. She couldn't. I mean, look at, and this is the thing I always laugh when people say, well, she won an Oscar about Brie Larson. She won an Oscar for Room because she played a victim. She played a victim, and it was a compelling story.
How ironic.
Yeah, it wasn't her acting ability in that movie because she just acted like herself on Twitter. She just played the victim all the time. That's what she does. But it's Tessa's the same. She's cut from that cloth. She sees Brie do it, and she's like, well, I can do this too. And she doesn't. It's funny because she doesn't seem to have the same clout that Brie does. And Brie is supposed to be championing the cause for these underrepresented minorities. Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. And it's just not working out the way she thought it would for either of them. I don't think they expect the pushback they get. I really don't.
Well, I think I believe it was The Quartering did a video on this very recently. He stated, basically pulled out all the facts about all these different things that are getting canceled, or like there was some show on Syfy is how they have it spelled now, but it's sci-fi. Some show, it's like an all-female cast with all-female writers or something, and it was picked up for a season. It's based on some comic book by Max Visaggio.
Yeah, it just got canceled.
Yeah, it basically was picked up for one season, and they have it at midnight every night. And they're like, that's it. We're not doing it. Like, they've already done production on it, so they're kind of committed to it. They have to release it to at least recoup some of their ad revenue off of it. But it's like I said earlier, it's like when the chips are down and the money is thin, it's amazing what happens to quote unquote values and what people are trying to push, because they know on what side of the bread is buttered, and it ain't that one. Because people, especially at a time like this, they want to escape their current thing. They don't want to hear about the woes and the troubles and everything else. They want to be like the whole point, at least like for say video games and the like, is to put yourself into a different world where they don't have the problems that you have, where they have something else that it's relatable on some level, but you get to be somewhere else for a while. That's how we always talk about escapist entertainment. That's what we're talking about. Like, when you play a video game, you are becoming that character while playing that game. You get to be someone else for a little while. You get to deal with their problems on a level that, oh, okay, I'm done for now. I can shut off the game, or I can restart a level or something. Real life, you can't do that. And so real life can be pretty fucking vicious at times, and that's why we like escapist entertainment. Not, they've said that the theater and movies hold up a mirror to society. Like, once upon a time, that was the point of the theater. They'd hold up a mirror to society. And it's like, maybe not so much anymore. Yeah. They're supposed to, art reflecting life reflecting art, all that kind of stuff. I get it. But time and place, Like we've talked, at least Pete and I have talked at length about certain types of entertainment, what makes it woke, what makes it not woke,
Hmm.
and just by having certain actors or actresses or whatever by default does not make a movie woke, or a
Yep.
gender swap doesn't automatically make it woke. It's the marketing around it and the agenda they're trying to push via the marketing, via the movie, and why people were cast is what makes it woke.
Prime
Yeah.
prime
So-
example, Captain Marvel.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
Captain Marvel could have been just a very bland movie, but it was the marketing and the grandstanding around it that made that movie what it was.
Yeah.
So,
And the people that championed that movie were just like the worst kind of because you say I didn't, and you this is the thing is like you don't even have to insult the movie. You could just say I don't want to see it. I don't think it looks good, and then you're all of a sudden an istophobe incel, neckbeard, alt right Russian bot, and it's like no, I just simply said the movie was a 5 out of 10. It's not good. It doesn't reinvent the wheel. It doesn't break any glass ceilings. And the lead actress's performance, I don't even have to mention her by name, was something that basically looks like she slept through.
I learned very recently, in fact, it was on Saturday, there was a live stream that Retroblasting did, and apparently Michael J. Fox almost literally did sleep through Back to the Future. Because his contract was set up such that he was doing Family Ties at the same time, and so he would film Family Ties during the day, and at night he would film Back to the Future.
Damn.
And so each line, even though we don't see any problem with the deliverance, apparently he didn't memorize lines. Like the director told him, okay, these are your lines, and then he would just give it everything he had that night, and then just crash and then go do Family Ties. And so he's admitted in interviews that regrettably he does not remember making Back to the Future.
Jesus. That's
So-
insane. How do you forget making such a and that was a groundbreaking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Hail
It's just-
Keely Chow.
Hello, everyone in the chat. There are too many names for me to name right now.
What up, fools?
So, but yeah, it's, that whole, back to the whole escapist thing, it's just, she clearly, her values went out the window when the paycheck rolled in. So, and I've been told this before in many lines of work, because I'm one of those that, I'll try to stand my ground on certain things, and I've had superiors that, tell me, this isn't the hill you want to die on. And
Yeah.
the big one I always hear is, don't cut off your nose to spite your face. You may be mad, but, time and place, and you can be mad later, but right now, while the people are paying you, maybe now's not the time to bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, don't cut that nose off, man. Come on.
Exactly. So it's a crazy, crazy dynamic in Hollywood, and I think when everything is said and done at the end of all this, people are slowly realizing what matters and what doesn't, and
Yeah.
certain things are starting to disappear and dissipate. So,
Let's see. I'm gonna take a moment here and acknowledge the chat. So we got Ray's Double Dong, Alan Yaskovitz. Let's see. Raiders is up in there. Hail Keely Chow, Admiral Tiberius, Franchise History TV. Let's see who else. Let's see. We have Ray's Double Dong, Lapis Anus, Ray Shield. Everybody up in here tonight. All right. This is the place to be today. All right. I'm liking that. But yeah, Tessa Thompson, people like her, they don't they like those paychecks. They like that platform, but they don't like playing ball. They think they gotta set themselves apart, and it doesn't. It never goes well. It's like they eventually I would say they grow out of it, but some of them don't. I mean, look at Robert De Niro. All right. Without going into Robert De Niro's literal insanity, guys like him and Michael Rappaport, these guys are I mean, if it wasn't for The Irishman, De Niro would pretty much be you wouldn't really hear much from him anymore, because what was the last thing he was in that was any good? I mean, these people, they want, I don't even know, Sean Penn. Remember when Sean Penn was talking to El Chapo?
mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
I remember the Hurricane Katrina and how outspoken he was during that.
yep,
Now, that's not to take away from Sean Penn, because I think he is a terrific actor.
he is.
What was that, Mystic River?
Yep.
Fucking outstanding performance. I Am Sam, outstanding performance.
Yep.
But
I have not seen Mystic River in years.
oh, it still holds up. It's one of those ones that even though you know how it ends, you can still watch it and just be blown away by his like Tim Robbins' performance. Like all of them just nailed it.
Yeah. Yes, that is what you're talking about. Tim Robbins is Tim. I think Tim Robbins doesn't get enough credit for as good of an actor as he is.
No, he really doesn't. He's one of those that like you've seen him in things, you just don't know it's him.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
think that's really the mark of a good actor. Like, not that you don't know their names, but you can see the movie and be like, oh, yeah, he was in that. But it's because you're so enveloped in the movie that you don't realize, oh, that's Tim Robbins. Like, some characters like Tom Cruise, you see him in a movie and you're like, that's just Tom Cruise. Like, you immediately recognize him and you can't. Like, that Mummy movie that came out,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, it's Tom Cruise. Like, he's too recognizable and plays the same person every time. But that's kind of
Yeah.
what happens to the guys in sci-fi, and because they become typecast, they're like, okay, they're too immediately recognizable.
Yeah.
There's not many guys out there that, like, besides Johnny Depp, there's not too many people that can. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? But
He's got the I caramba choose.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
I know.
Now we're all gonna get it.
Dun, 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 my Corona.
Achoo. No, there's not too many people out there that can play a different character in every movie and actually sell it as that character. Like you see Tom Cruise in a lot of movies, and it's like it's just Tom Cruise has a different name. That's it. But you see like Johnny Depp and some of these other actors, they actually make the transformation and take time to actually do that. So Johnny Depp looks different in every single movie. Tom Cruise has like the same fucking haircut, the same look on his face, pretty much the same everything, except for I would say one of my favorite performances from him was Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah.
Where he played Lestat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, another actor that's a lot like that is Daniel Day-Lewis. I know people think he's pretentious and all that kind of shit, but it's like I've never seen him in a bad movie. I've never seen him like every single movie that he's been in that I've seen I've liked and been really like holy like Gangs of New York. People didn't like Lincoln a whole lot, but I really liked it. What was some other one? My Left Foot, There Will Be Blood. Like he does really great fucking work.
Lincoln, I will say this, and I don't like Lincoln. It was a good movie. I just didn't like it because it was kind of dry. But I mean, it was a good movie. It was a good movie, and Daniel Day-Lewis is a fantastic actor. One of my favorite movies with him is Last of the Mohicans.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I
Movie
saw,
kicks ass.
dude. I saw that. Now I was I think 10 or 11 years old when that came out. Maybe I'll have to look at the year that came out. But I saw that in the theater 2 times, I believe. I think it was. I mean, and that's not like I mean, there's some really cool battle scenes in it, but it's not like it's not a action packed movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's more of a kind of a drama, I would say.
It feels a lot like The Patriot.
Yeah. But okay, that came out in 92. I was 12. I went to see that in the theater twice, man. That movie was freaking great. I loved it.
Franchise History TV says Bale. I'm assuming he means Christian Bale,
Yeah.
who does like huge physical transformations to play his roles.
Yep.
Yeah, him too. He's awesome.
So, and that to me, that's a master of your craft. Like when, to speak about Daniel Day-Lewis as a kind of conflation of the two, he almost died of pneumonia because when he was filming Gangs of New York, he's what do they call it? There's a word for it, where they live as their character.
In Method.
Method, yeah.
Method acting.
So he was living as his character in New York. Like he refused to wear any type of heavy coat or anything because they didn't exist then. So he almost died of pneumonia walking around New York in the wintertime wearing that flimsy ass little cotton coat from the movie.
What an idiot.
So,
Oof.
but yeah, it's crazy. Like a lot of these actors today, they show up and they want their paycheck, but then they want to espouse on how much, this, that, and the other. The people that are giving them money to be in movies aren't doing enough. And it's just, I encounter it at work all the time. Jesus Christ, English is hard. I encounter it at work all the time, and much in the same way, people complain all the time. Are like, all right, bro, if you hate it so much, why'd you re-enlist twice?
Yep.
Must be something good about it, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe
Right?
it's not appropriate of me to say this, but situations like that one are the reasons I've founded a production company.
That's Doomed Scholar Studios.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Doom
Yep.
Scholars, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's who that is. Absolutely. Let's see. He said Lincoln had an interesting life. My problem with Lincoln was that 3 hours only focused on one part of his life. It's a wasted opportunity. He had so many accomplishments, though. It was so hard to probably make that into, to condense it. And let's be honest, nobody wanted a Lincoln. I mean, I guess some people would have wanted a Lincoln trilogy. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You
The
could have
Lincoln Saga.
I mean, they had Lincoln Vampire Hunter, right?
That was a fun movie.
I have never watched it. I have
Never seen it.
It's a fun movie.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, this is a cornerstone of cinema. It's a fun, mindless entertainment kind of movie.
Yep.
Like just watching Abraham Lincoln hunt vampires, and it's fun. It's based on a comic book.
See, I mean that does, like, you got Lincoln, then you got Lincoln Vampire Hunter. We need one more Lincoln movie, and we got the Lincoln trilogy right there.
Hell yeah! How about All About the Benjamins, and we'll just say it's about Lincoln.
All about the Lincolns.
But my grandmother didn't like Lincoln, and I shit you not, I asked her, I was like, Grammy, how come you don't like the Lincoln movie? And she's like, I just don't think he looks like Abraham Lincoln. That was her complaint. She thought Daniel Day-Lewis didn't look like Lincoln enough.
Well, I mean, it's hard.
I was like,
to find
Grandma,
somebody,
were you there? Did you see him? How do you know?
It's hard to find somebody that ugly that is that
She
is
just held a $5 bill up to the screen and compared it. It's like, nope, not adding up.
Graham was sitting there, holding that $5 up in the theater, looking at it, shaking her head, going, "Nope,
This is bullshit.
nope, I want my damn money back. He does not look like a sawbuck to me."
I don't believe it for a second. I was there when he gave the Gettysburg Address. Okay, Grandma.
Oh shit. Yeah. So this whole, I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis, I like I say, he is a good actor. I'm glad you mentioned My Left Foot, because I remember seeing that one when I was young too. I watched that with my mom.
Mm-hmm. That's a fantastic movie.
It is.
I saw that the summer of 2006. I went on this fucking spree and just watched a bunch of, like, not weird movies, but that's where I discovered a lot of the critically acclaimed but oft forgotten movies like Dead Poet Society or My Life as a Dog, which was a Danish movie, I think. But it's really fucking weird.
Dope.
Might have been a Swedish movie. I think it was a Swedish movie. It was about this kid, and there's a lot of comparisons to him and Lenka, the dog that the Russians sent to space and shit. It's a fucking weird movie, but it was good. Like, I watched a lot of movies like that, because up until that point, basically, all I watched was, like, sci-fi, action, and horror. And so that kind of gave me a better scope of movies.
Yeah. A little more well-rounded view of cinema, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watched a ton of old movies with my grandparents and my parents growing up. But now it's just like, I don't know. It takes a lot for me to, like, a movie has to be really good to be able to capture my attention, or it has to be something I'm really, it's either really going to be really good or something I'm interested in. I don't really care if it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, like, the Marvel movies. I mean, everybody complains about them being formulaic, but you know what, man, they're entertaining. At least this first, the quote unquote Infinity Saga was, there were 22 compelling movies, and one that you can completely just do without and scrub from existence, and honestly nobody would be any the wiser.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, if you took Captain Marvel out and just took you completely erased her from Endgame, had somebody else save Tony and Nebula, scrub the scene from the end of Infinity War,
mm-hmm.
nobody would care, literally.
Yeah, they could have very easily had the Nova Corps rescue them.
It should have been the Nova Corps,
because he'd already destroyed fucking Xandar, so it stands to reason that there would be at least a couple of remnant ships of the Nova Corps still going around the galaxy trying to look for survivors and shit.
Yeah.
And I forget. I saw a stream or a video recently. I cannot remember where I saw it. I digest way too much entertainment these days to
Mhm.
keep everything straight. But apparently, that fight with her and Thanos, it was supposed to be the Hulk and
Yep.
Thanos.
Yes, she was a stand-in for the. That's why she no-sold the headbutt because it was supposed to be the Hulk.
Hmm. And that would have made sense because if I'm not mistaken, I believe in the comics, Thanos has stated before that he's genuinely afraid of the Hulk.
Yes.
So that would be, he finally gets his little, do-over, I guess, because he got his ass fucking pushed in on.
Oh, he got his
on
shit
that
pushed in
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Well, also, like, she doesn't have any beef with Thanos.
Mm-mm.
Like, she walks into Endgame like, all right, I'm just gonna kill him. And it's like you don't even fucking know who he is. Like, what are you doing?
And she didn't kill him. Thor did.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
whatever.
Like, it makes
Yeah.
no sense. And she didn't even realize like what he did. Or at least if she did, then it probably didn't affect her because she had bitch face the whole fucking time.
So to round this back, all the way back to Tessa Thompson.
Oh
So-
yeah. Speaking
so-
of Thor and all that.
Yeah, so Thor 4, Tessa Thompson. All right, now look, this movie, and you mark my words right now. I vehemently dislike Ragnarok. Thor 4 is gonna shoehorn twice as much shit as they did in Ragnarok, because Ragnarok was basically like, what was it, Planet Hulk? You know,
Sort of. That
Sort
was
of.
part of the. That was like the first half of the movie. They
Yep.
didn't really touch on it a whole lot, but that's basically how Planet Hulk went down.
Wrapped into a Thor movie, and they're gonna do that because you're gonna have all these characters. You're gonna have, what's his name? I think Bob Odenkirk was tapped to play, was it Dario Ager, and now you got Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher probably. You got Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie trying to find her queen because we have to have that LGBT fucking alphabet representation up in there. McQueen, I gotta find McQueen. And then you got you got Thor, who they said they're not gonna make him fat dude bro Thor anymore, which I'm glad, because I like the character of Thor, and I don't want him to see him be doofus Thor from like Endgame again. And like Ragnarok, he kind of was like kind of a joke for most of it, until the end. He had his little comeuppance. And I will say this: for all the things that I don't like about that movie, the action sequences in the end of the movie on the bridge, the Bifrost, are excellent.
Mm-hmm.
That was excellent, especially because, and I will give it more points because the use of Led Zeppelin, because Led Zeppelin is one of my favorite fucking bands, and I love the Immigrant Song. So that was that was really cool, and they did some really cool shit with the Hulk there. Franchise History TV says, I just made a video about the Hulk being robbed. Yep, I saw that. I gotta check that out, man.
That might have been what I saw.
Yep, I gotta go back and I gotta watch that one. Let's see. Raiders says, I like Marvel movies. Just literally every movie copies the formula now, and they do. They absolutely do. That was they're afraid. Alan Yaskovitz says they're afraid to use new concepts, or at least that's the case if you ask me. And it is. They could have broke out with New Mutants. That should have been a breakout for them. I still think that that movie could, they could use that as a parlay into Doctor Strange too, which should have been a horror movie, but Kevin Feige's too afraid to break from that, that formula. So
I get why they keep doing the same formula. I mean, it makes money. It introduces the characters. It shows you what you need to know, and that's about it. But if they actually they could do a different take on certain movies. Like, if they didn't make Captain Marvel just like, oh, you go, girl, kind of movie, I'm sure people would have liked it, regardless of Brie Larson's, comments and shit before the movie came out. Same with Doctor Strange. I like Doctor Strange a lot.
I did too.
I don't really have any complaints with it, but if they did a different take on, with Doctor Strange, I think it would have been even more successful, because it's one of the lower. I think it's one of the lower ones that lower profited movies.
Yep.
Out of the MCU. So I don't know. I mean, you can't just do the same formula for every single character. Like, I think Black Panther was somewhat formulaic in a way, but it still made a lot of money. It did really well, and it was a fine movie.
It fell apart in the third act, man. Sorry, I love that. No, don't get me wrong, bro. I love that movie. That's one of my top 5 Marvel movies.
Well, I'm not going to go out defending it, so go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, but the third act of that movie, story, plot, the plot, and the CGI was just absolute, just dog shit. You know that, like, I've said this ad nauseum. The fight scene between Charlie and Killmonger looks like PlayStation 2 graphics.
I think it's funny if you watch Mahler's review. Like, he really breaks it down and he points out the flaws really, really well.
Yep.
So it, like, I was kind of like on the fence about it. And then I watched his review and I was like, holy fuck. This
I
really
love the movie.
sucks.
I love the movie.
It's fine.
There's flaws in it, man. And like I said, I'll acknowledge that and still say that I enjoy it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's
3/4 of the
with me.
movie's good, you know? 3/4 of the movie's fucking good. So
yeah, I'm not gonna like rip it to shreds. I mean, everything Mahler said was correct, and I mean, I agree with him 100%. But I mean,
yeah,
I like it, but they could definitely do takes on movies and different ways of like developing these heroes and bringing them into the MCU instead of the typical. All right, you got to start from the bottom, rise from the ashes. Shang-Chi, like I'm sure that's what they're gonna do. It's like, oh,
no, Shang-Chi's gonna be a fucking a straight rip off of Mortal Kombat, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Shang-Chi is, dude, and I did this in my Marvel video. Grace Randolph, this comes from her. And you know what? I'd say Grace Randolph is a pretty credible source of information on some things. But the goddamn, her insiders said that the plot of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is the Mandarin enters Shang-Chi in a tournament where he's got to fight against all these other like Marvel characters. And he's got to win the 10 rings in the tournament.
Which is not what the 10 rings are, but odd flex.
What do the 10 rings do?
The 10 rings, so the Mandarin wears rings on each hand, and they give him like different forms of on each hand. On each finger, he wears a ring, and that's how he basically fights Iron Man, is their different powers and shit like that. Which I get it, they're trying to ground it in reality, so they're going to change things, but like that's a odd flex.
It sounds weird. It sounds just like a lamer version of Thanos.
Yeah.
Like one that just no one gives a shit about.
And just think, man, a couple years ago we had Ben Kingsley playing a Mandarin. I just watched Iron Man 2 and 3 the other day, and you know what?
He wasn't the Mandarin, but he wasn't.
I'm not the Mandarin. They paid me. I'm just an actor. My name's Trevor.
That movie.
Oh, ole, 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 ole.
I hate that movie so much.
No, dude, I love that shit. I loved Iron Man 3. I have no fucking qualms about saying I love that goddamn movie. That shit was just funny. It was like, I don't really care for Shane Black, but I liked that movie. I thought it was funny. I did. I enjoyed it. Now, Iron Man 2, a little bit less than Iron Man 3, but I still liked it. And you were talking about Black Panther a minute ago. I want to talk about this before we jump into our director of marketing segment, which I saw Alan bring up toys in the chat, so we'll jump over to that. But Black Panther now, Chadwick Boseman. There's some rumors floating around that. Let me pull this up. I'm just going to read this off the text message I got with a clip from an article. Let's see here. Let me find the message here. But it's regarding his tenure as Black Panther, and that seems like it might be in question.
Well,
now
we saw, what was it? Not even 6 months after that he was done filming, you could see the enthusiasm left because he was tired of doing the Wakanda Forever thing and all the photos.
Yeah,
Wakanda Forever.
So
let's see.
I don't think he realized what kind of role he was accepting when, fans get passionate, and once you become that character in their eyes, like you don't get to stop playing that character.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like people are like making fun of him. It's like
man.
People love him. Like, it's cool.
That's it. And it really gave and I'm using the word in like a positive light. Now, it did give more representation that was like, there was nothing. Now, the marketing around Black Panther and the way it's protected was a little bit, but at the same time, it was a movie that a lot of kids could identify with, and they got to see something that, and they say it looked more like them. You know what I mean? And that to a certain degree, it is important. It absolutely is. But then again, there's a lot of kids that, they can identify with, Spider-Man, and they don't look like Spider-Man, but Spider-Man wears a mask, so anybody could be under the mask. You know what I mean? Same thing with Black Panther, really.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, it's a double-edged sword with that, but you know what I mean? Everybody has a seat at the table, and that's why Stan Lee created Black Panther. You know what I mean? He created him for that reason, but Stan Lee didn't, use him like a fucking tool.
A white guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Tessa, a white guy created those.
But here, this is a message I got earlier. It says, an insider told, and don't shoot the messenger, but an insider told we got this covered, that Boseman has demanded a pay increase from Marvel, but the studio is refusing to meet his request. If the reports are true, then this is very similar to the situation to Terrence Howard, who was replaced by Don Cheadle after Iron Man 2. And after that quote, it basically went on to say what another article said previous to the we got this covered spot was that Shuri is going to take the mantle of Black Panther. Now, this was going to be T'Challa just becoming king of Wakanda, and Shuri taking the role of protector and becoming Black Panther. But now they're talking about if Boseman leaves, Namor is going to kind of become, they're going to make Namor kind of like the main character in Black Panther outside of Shuri being Black Panther. So it'll be the Shuri and Namor show to lead into, the new Avengers movie, which Black Panther is supposed to be a part of.
Pass.
Shuri's annoying, so who gives a shit?
And Leticia Wright, like she seems like a very sweet person, but my God, that little girl weighs like 20 pounds. Have you ever seen her? Like her arms are like as big as a microphone wire. She is a tiny little thing. It's like,
she looks like she could fight some people and beat them up.
Somebody, she could beat up a 300-pound guy easily. It's like Ruby Rose, like Batwoman.
Hey, she can use her little oven mitts and just shoot them.
I didn't find Shuri so like unbearable.
Nah, she wasn't.
There were certain character traits that I was like, okay, like she's this genius at what, like 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
However, what she's supposed to be. I was like, okay, she's already smarter than Banner and
that was
and everyone else.
Yeah, that was insulting.
Yeah, I was like, if they'd made her older, like if she was in her like mid-20s or something, I'm like, okay, like I could maybe see that. But as a teen, I don't know. I never buy the whole child genius thing. That stuff's always annoying to me.
Yep.
But I don't know. She took up the mantle as Black Panther for a little bit, and then I'm pretty sure she was White Panther or something like that at one point.
White Tiger.
White Tiger, yeah.
That would be fine if they actually made her like a White Tiger, give her a cooler looking suit. Like, I'd be cool with that, but don't just be like, all right, you're Black Panther now. It's like, what? No, that's T'Challa.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, I just thought of this, and I'd like to see what the chat says, and we'll continue. I just want to see what they have to say about it. I want them to picture themselves in a parallel universe, and I want them to think of every role that Sean Bean has ever had. But instead of Sean Bean, we get Mr. Bean in his place.
Ooh.
And what one they think would play off the funniest, and which one might actually be feasible.
The Hitcher.
Go ahead and run with that one for a while.
Sean Bean replaced by Mr. Bean.
Yeah, so imagine Mr. Bean sitting there as like 006, like, oh, Bond, I don't know.
I don't know, Mr. Bond. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm Mr. Bean.
Or he's down there at King's Landing trying to fucking be the hand of the king. He's just standing in that garden doing that gif where he's looking at his watch all the time. So,
He's Boromir, and he's just trying to like very carefully take the ring from Frodo.
Mr. Frodo, can I have this ring, please? I need this ring. I'm Mr. Bean. I need this ring.
No, Boromir, you can't. Please.
No, the ring you cannot have. It's mine. The precious is mine.
I'm terribly sorry to bother you, but could I, by chance? Oh, geez, I don't know, but this ring business,
Settle down, Johnny English.
Call him. The precious is ours. You will never have it, Mr. Bean.
I think that was kind of like nothing against Andy Serkis or anything like that, but I feel like that was one of the worst things he could have done for Gollum is to use a voice that anyone could do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he has a very definitive like normal speaking voice. They're
Yes,
very
he does.
distinct. And I'm like, I get it. I appreciate the drastic change in his voice, but it's kind of like the same thing with Stitch. Like
Yep.
whoever voiced Stitch in the Lilo and Stitch movie, it's like you went with the one that everyone can emulate. So I don't know.
Yeah, what they should have done with Gollum was before he turned into like Gollum when he was Smeagol, like before he killed his brother or whatever, he got corrupted by the ring. He should have just sounded normal, and then the like ring would have made him sound.
He sounded like this. Precious.
What's taters, precious? What's taters? Potato. Sorry, I'm getting on the Lord of the Rings rant.
We must cure the master. No, he loves the master. Cure him.
I want to watch Lord of the Rings after this.
I hope you got 12 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have 9,986,000 hours. That's how long the Lord of the Rings trilogy is.
Hell yeah,
Fucking
that's-
amazing trilogy.
I love watching Lord of the Rings, but it's one of those things like I have to make a day out of it. Like I can't just
Yeah.
casually sit down and say I'm going to watch it. But oh man, so we were talking about just quickly when Terrence Howard left. I consider that an upgrade. I think Don Cheadle's much better than Terrence Howard.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Don Cheadle a lot.
But
I think I think they upgraded it considerably by going over to Cheadle. I didn't have a problem per se with Terrence Howard in Iron Man 1. I mean, I thought he played the role fine. I really did. But Don Cheadle, I just think is a better actor.
yeah, I thought his dynamic with RDJ was a lot more believable. Like their back and forth, their banter.
Yes,
Tony stank.
they absolutely did have a much better rapport between the two of them.
Yeah.
It seemed it really played well on screen.
He's actually like really likable too. Like I really enjoy War Machine. Like he's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's another thing. I doubt that they'll ever touch on it, but like, he became Iron Man when Tony Stark died before he became War Machine. So, but I doubt they'll touch on that. At least if memory serves correctly, there was a kind of a convoluted mess because then Tony Stark was War Machine at one point, and it was like the death and rebirth of Tony Stark kind of deal.
Well, now we're gonna get Riri Williams. I mean, so
Yeah.
all is saved, right?
I mean, it totally makes sense to just make him Iron Man,
Mhm.
but no.
That's I think the underlying issue about all of it is about like Captain Marvel, Tessa Thompson. Like they're taking like B, C, D-lister characters and they're trying to force you to care about them. And I think that's I think that's where like 90% of the pushback comes from is like we like what we like. Don't force me to like something else or call me something else because I don't like it. Like
Well, to me it seems like they think just because the Avengers, because the Avengers weren't like A-list characters.
for the most part, no, they were not.
They weren't. So they think because, well, it worked with them, okay, it'll work with, Lady Thor and Valkyrie and Captain Marvel and fucking Miss Marvel, big hand bitch. She-Hulk. Now, She-Hulk's a good character, don't get me wrong. Hell, Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel in the comics was a good comic.
Or Warbird.
Yeah. Captain Marvel with, what was it? Was it Maria Rambeau back in the 80s?
Yeah, she was Captain Marvel after Marvel and before Carol Danvers became Captain Marvel.
That was a good comic. But this shite that started with Kelly Sue DeConnick has just run it right into the ground. It's been rebooted and it's not just because, they wanted to start a new storyline. No, it's because it wasn't selling. It flat out wasn't selling. So, spare me the people want to see Captain Marvel lead the Avengers because nobody wants to see Captain Marvel lead the fucking Avengers. Nobody does.
Spare me, LaFleur.
Yeah, just no. I'll pass. I'll pass on that.
Well, they don't constantly like give us the things we want the most. Like you think of the most popular Avengers or most popular Marvel heroes, give us those. Like we're not done liking them. Like I know there's always a possibility in the far future for more movies with different actors and reboots and shit, but just focus on the now. Like we got these actors, they're all in good shape.
Yeah.
Give us more. Like it's not like we're done. Like nobody asked them to like kill Iron Man. Like, yep, we're done with Robert Downey Jr.
Yep.
Like, no. Like we want some more cool shit.
Guarantee you, book it right now, mark it, April 22nd, 2020 at 9:21 p.m. Eastern. If they made Iron Man 4, that movie would make at least $800 million. At least.
Oh hell yeah.
At least. If it didn't break $1 billion. I don't care. If they made an Iron Man. Now, I don't want to get honey-dicked and have, it's Iron Man 4, and then you turn around and you give me Iron Lad, what's his name, Harley Keener, or Riri Williams. I don't fucking want that. That's trash. I don't want it. The Harley Keener kid from Iron Man 3, all right, if you're going to make him Iron Lad and put him in the Young Avengers, all right, I could see that because he makes sense in the context of the MCU, not the books. Riri's in the books. Nobody wants to see that on screen. But Harley is in the he's already in the MCU. Make him.
Up at Endgame.
He did, and that's why I think if they're gonna do Iron Lad, then do that with him. But they were talking, there are going to be a lot of these younger cats are going to be on the Disney Plus shows, and the new Avengers is going to be the next Avengers. That's going to be Avengers 5, and it'll be Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, who else? Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, probably Spider-Man will be there, and I'm trying to think. There's 2 more. I had a list written. I had written out last night. Probably She-Hulk and Lady Thor. If Thor's still around, he'll be. But I don't see. It's like, is Hemsworth going to be in the Avengers 5? Who knows? But he said he wanted to play Thor. Kind of like Huey Jackman did with Wolverine. So I don't mind.
He can't do anything else really.
Yeah, he's proven that. But I don't mind Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I think Chris Hemsworth is a likable guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Franchise History TV says, you mean Iron Man 6? Yeah, I do. Because basically, Civil War was, that could be that's basically an Iron Man movie or a Captain America movie, whichever way you look at it.
That was Avengers 2.5.
It was. It really was. Let's see. Alan says, still wonder what's going to happen with Marvel in general. They're gonna go all the way woke. They are. They're going to do it, and that's what scares me about the Fantastic Four is Joss Whedon taking over that. But I don't want to talk about Marvel anymore. I really don't. It hurts my brain.
Yeah.
So let's talk some toys.
All right. Yeah, I was about to say. I saw earlier in the chat someone mentioned Star Wars toys, which I'll touch briefly on that. Yeah, the sequel and Disney era stuff does not sell. To talk to what they said. It's known to not sell. Like that's why you see them in Ollie's, you see them on clearance racks. Like I can still go to if GameStop was allowing store customers in their store, I could still go to GameStop right now and find Jyn Erso's and Snoke's on clearance in their little clearance area. Like and the crazy thing is that Hasbro Pulse, the website operated, and it's basically the online store for Hasbro, still has all those characters at full price. I don't know what they're doing, but that's why you see this year, now that they're not beholden to the movies anymore, because the movies are done. Not that they didn't end in 1983 or anything, but they are going to original trilogy. This year is the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, so you see a lot of Empire stuff coming out. You see a reissue of the Slave One that was an Amazon exclusive is coming out. Mine is ready for pickup, but I can't have it until the 27th because it's street dated. So expect a review on that probably on the 27th or the 28th. Um, and you see like the 40th anniversary card backs. Like I filmed my review for the AT-AT driver, and yes, it's AT-AT Fight Me. Um, so that one's done. Bespin Luke, Han and Leia in their Bespin gear. Well, Leia's in her Hoth gear, but Bespin Han, Luke. Who was the other one? Yoda. Even though they literally just did an archive Yoda this past year, so it's the same thing more or less. But you see a lot of resurgence of these characters, like the first foray they did into the 6-inch scale vehicles, and their only one for Star Wars really was, I mean, unless you count like the land speeder and all that kind of shit, but that's neither here nor there. Their first foray was the TIE Fighter for the Force Awakens, which didn't sell, and you can still get it retailed at 100 when it was released, and you can still find it for $100 on the secondhand market. It did not go up in value. Now they're doing the snow speeder that comes with DAC, the gunner pilot.
Nice.
So that's going to be, I have it pre-ordered. I'm waiting for it to come out, but it's going to be pretty sweet. I don't know how I'm going to film a review on that thing. It's going to be gigantic. I'm going to have to reset up my entire office just to film a review for it, but I'm going to. But yeah, I feel like we're going to see an increase in sales on those just because they're going back and they're tugging at the heartstrings. But for diehard collectors like myself, I will be buying some of them because I'm like, this is the exact same figure you released, 5 years ago, only with an updated face. And some of them, like the Bespin Han, they did the face scanning or face printing tech on this one, and they didn't do really any improvement to the one they released in, I think it was 2018. It looks identical. So, it is what it is on that front. Let's see, I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. Alan's moving real fast. Ray, I will fight you. It is AT-AT. I know he's just busting my balls. Did I buy them then burn them? No, Keely Chow, I can't do that.
No, dude.
I'm not EVS.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money. Let's see. What do we got?
Yeah, no, they're not stopping production. They're slowing down. I think they're really taking a hard look at what's been selling and what hasn't, and they're going to kind of direct themselves because Hasbro's not dumb. Jeff spoke to a rep at, I think he went to New York Comic Con or maybe it was Star Wars Celebration. It was one of those last year, and the rep knew who Jeff was, like without being like, "Oh, I'm Jeff from." He knew who he was, so they do pay attention. And he basically flat out told him, he's like, yeah, a lot of the stuff we're told we have to make. It's part of the licensing deal with Disney that they can tell us, like, we have to make certain characters. We can't make certain characters, like, so, especially when you're beholden to a movie, they want the merchandise to tie into the movie because in some cases, unless the movie has a really hard following, the people are only going to buy the toys when the movie comes out because if they're sitting on the shelf 2 years later, they don't care anymore because a lot of the normies that would just buy it on a whim aren't interested. Yeah, Diamond was speaking about the toys they're producing the other day. Yeah, I don't if Diamond has a sub license for Star Wars, that's the first I've heard of it. I'm looking forward to their Lord of the Rings, which looks spectacular. I'm not a huge fan of Diamond just because they're kind of like an in between like the old McFarlane toys and NECA. Like they have articulation, the sculpts and the paint are beautiful, but the articulation is lacking and very limited. But they do have some very beautiful Lord of the Rings figures coming out. But so for Hasbro, which is the only thing I was going to say about them, was they very recently they hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. So they were doing a giveaway. And every day, all you had to do was comment on the picture with the hashtag 100,000 fan celebration something or other. But with the exception of like, I think maybe 3 of the things they offered, they were all former San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that were quote unquote sold out. One of which being the Kenner style vintage collection Boba Fett, which sold out in literally under 3 seconds. I know because I got fucked on it twice. I had them in my shopping cart both times, and then one time PayPal was like, "Hey, you need to sign up for PayPal Instant." I was like, "You need to suck my nuts," and then it sold out. And then the other time, I wasn't fast enough. But the big thing is their final day, their final giveaway that they did was a sail barge. You know, the sail barge that they said
Yep.
the only way you could get it is if you backed it, and they were only going to make that exact number.
Yeah.
Turns
Yeah.
out that was a lie because they at least had one to give away. So, yeah, that was kind of fucky, and they've been doing that a lot recently. Like today, they just announced there was a Toys R Us exclusive of what was called the Groot Evolution Pack, and it was the MCU Groot. So you got a little potted baby Groot from the end of the first Guardians of the Galaxy, then you got baby Groot from the second one, then you got adult Groot, and they were all in this little pack together. They were Toys R Us exclusives, and they were going for about $100 to $120 on eBay. Well, now they've brought them back, and they're available for pre-order for $20, which, you know, no harm, no foul. If I wanted to sell mine for $100, I should have done it sooner. The problem is, how long have they had these figures been sitting on them, while the second market just went fucking nuts over it? And why did they wait? Because that figure, you gotta think Toys R Us went out of business, what, early 2018? Like maybe around June, July. I think the last one's like closed up.
Yeah, I think it was July, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it was last summer.
what made them wait 2 years?
It's interesting. I mean,
Es muy interesante.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why they would wait 2 years to do that. It doesn't make any sense.
I have no idea, but they've been doing that a lot recently. Like they've been, oh, we brought this figure back, and they've been doing it a lot. Mysterio is a more recent example where he was in the Lizard Build-A-Figure wave, which came out in 2018, I think, maybe late 2017, early 2018, and of course Mysterio sold out immediately, and people have been clamoring to get him. Well, now they're doing the retro carded Spider-Man line, which they did with the X-Men, and then they did Marvel superheroes, where they kind of did old school, old costumed superheroes. Well, now they have a Mysterio that's going to be on that card, and it's the exact same body, only painted different, so he doesn't look like the animated Mysterio. Because the animated Mysterio that I conjure up in my head had like the weird armor on his shoulders and shit like that, just like Doc Ock did. So it's just, yeah. Toys R Us went out in 2018. He says.
All right.
or it was 18. Shit, I thought it was last year.
I did too. God damn. That's crazy. It's been that long already.
It's
Time
crazy
flies.
because like nothing really changed for me as far as collecting and anything. Like it shows how much I actually did go to Toys R Us, which was hardly ever. But I mean, it's still sad though.
Yeah, I hadn't been to a Toys R Us in years, but I still would have liked to have taken the kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was always a treat when I was little, the rare occasion we got to go to one, so it would have been kind of cool. But he likes going to the the bodega where they have all the Star Wars toys on sale and shit like that, because that's where we go and we buy all the troopers at. Only good things that come out of like any of the Disney movies are the troopers, like the army building figures. Seriously. Like I will take any and all shore troopers from Rogue One, the Death Squad troopers. I bought like 10 or 12 First Order stormtroopers from after Last Jedi. The main figures I could care less for. I bought them before the movie even dropped. Before I knew how bad it was going to be. I went out and bought the figures, and I was like, yeah, these might be worth something, whatever. Because I got a bunch of figures anyway, and I was already collecting. So I went out and I bought most of the main cast. Then I watched the movie and I'm like, here, Troy, you can have these. I don't want them. You can beat the hell out of them. Well, we have a little trebuchet, so we fire Ray out of that.
Nice.
Because the wife's got a little, it's a little functional trebuchet. So we take and we fire Trey out of that bitch. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, or fire Trey out of it. Fire Ray out of it.
Fire Trey out of it.
Trey's butt's too big to fit in that goddamn trebuchet. That thing's too little for him. That kid,
He'd be like, again.
he would too. I'd need a full size one to shoot his little butt out of it though, man. He's a little brick, dude. Are you kidding me?
He's a brick.
He's a brick. He freaking buried me in the living room the other night, and like all these blankets and toys, and he like was jumping on me. I'm like, oh my god, dude, how heavy are you again?
Well,
I
he
thought
even
that was
said he's
Meech
like a
for
40.
second.
Yeah, it felt like I did. I was like, is that Meech or the kid? I'm like, they weigh about the same thing. They're both about 50 pounds. Raider says, would you call that a ray gun? Oh, fucking Ray. There's a new. I noticed they made a new meme template with Ray in it. I was like, oh, I'll have some fun with this one later. After I'm all tuned up.
You guys remember that fucking list that was on World Class Bullshitters where they were talking about like the most powerful Jedi, and she was like number 3 or something?
Number 5, yeah.
Yeah.
5.
And Luke was behind her.
Yeah.
Did you see that meme? Somebody posted a meme of like all these Jedi. There's like 20 Jedi, and you see Rey like celebrating. She's got like a medal on, and she's popping a bottle, and then you look and she's like 20th.
Yeah,
I saw that this morning. I lost. I did. I was laughing like really hard at that one.
They better be popping the fucking bottles over that, considering she's actually on the list, which she should be.
Franchise history says, okay, EVS. Well, I have a trebuchet. I do. I'll post a picture of it tomorrow. We'll do a little fire the fucking Ray out of the trebuchet video tomorrow, just for you, franchise. We'll post it in the group.
Yeah. But real quick, I'll make my little final segment and move on to Cody because we're running short on time here.
Yep.
Just a reminder to everybody, Father's Day is around the corner, and we're still doing the tournament of the best sitcom dad. The only criteria is that they were in a sitcom from the 70s until, what did we say, 75 to 2005, something like that?
Yeah.
And which is already a huge net, but basically we need you to submit names via the place to be reviews. Was it the fan page?
Yep, that's the group.
The group, yeah. So go ahead, head over there, try join the group, and we will be setting up the poll soon. We're trying to accumulate as many names as possible, and then we will hold the first vote, and we will start narrowing it down, and then announce the winner on the Father's Day stream, or the closest one to, and then our picks that we would have chosen. So we have names like Dan Connor, Clifford Huxtable. We've got everyone is included for the dates. If the sitcom started before 75 but was still going in 75, I believe that counts. And as long as it started before 2005, or like the 2005, as long as it started before there, if it went past that, they still qualify. So Red Foreman, Hank Hill, Homer Simpson, all those guys.
Yep, I've got my pick for that one. So
yep. So go ahead over there and start dropping some names, and we'll compile a list, and we'll start that tournament. Toot sweet.
I'm gonna get a link to the group right now.
Outstanding.
And I'll post a link to the group in the chat. That way, if you're not a member of the private group over on Facebook, you can become a member. Right, meow.
Hell yeah.
Meow.
Right, meow.
So while we're doing that, Cody, what do you got for us, buddy?
All right, so I got a couple articles for you guys. So they're a little bit different. So today we're not going to be doing a Florida man story, but one's going to be kind of similar to one, and one is completely unrelated to a Florida man story. But first, let's go ahead and get going with this one. It is pretty cool, not going to lie. And if you guys don't believe me, well, here you fucking go. Once we get this article pulled up.
There we go.
So, Amish ignore social distancing, throw large party, police not amused. So, ladies and gentlemen, we shall watch this.
Geauga County Sheriff's deputies tell us they were here in Huntsburg Township early Sunday morning after receiving a 911 call.
Sheriff's dispatch, Geauga.
There's a bunch of Amish people over on Fredericksburg Road.
Deputies tell us that around 100 people were having a party this weekend.
Damn.
Despite the stay-at-home order, it's time to help slow the spread.
They don't look Amish.
When we got there was a barn full of people.
It was Rumspringer.
Dude, is that Michael Jackson? What the fuck?
Some of them were, there was one that was too intoxicated to run, had to be transported by ambulance.
The sheriff said one person card, another issued a summons for violating the stay-at-home order, and 2 were charged with underage.
Dude, she looks like a Karen, bro.
A couple weeks ago from residents concerned that the Amish
Jesus.
the party took place 6 days after Geauga County Health Commissioner sent a letter to bishops in the Amish community advising them that he has seen an increase in COVID-19 cases in the Amish community.
It doesn't surprise me. It is disappointing. I wish it wouldn't happen. Those folks are all placing themselves at risk.
The Geauga County Health Commissioner says all residents in Ohio must follow the state's stay-at-home order and practice social distancing.
I'm glad that the sheriff's office was there to do something about it, to intervene, and to put them on their way.
The health commissioner has also asked the Amish bishops to close churches for the rest of the month.
That'll teach you omelets.
Look,
Yeah, they ain't
it's
gonna
really
do
easy.
shit.
These are your brothers and mothers and fathers and grandpas and grandpas.
I see a car
We
right
all
there.
need
So
to
what am I
do
missing
what we
here?
need to do to protect them as well as themselves.
In Geauga County,
Well, the
Dude, they
strip,
got like blinkers and shit.
they have to have
They
them
have
on
to.
there. There's a ton of Amish people around me. In the town where I lived when I was working for Chrysler had a huge Amish settlement just south of us, and I would see them all the time. But
This is hilarious, bro. Oh my god.
yeah, Alan, go ahead and post your link in the chat. Absolutely, man. Go ahead.
Is he going to be able to post a link?
If it doesn't let you, I'll go grab the link to your group and I'll post it in there because I'm a member of your group. So I'll post. You know what? I'll just go pull it real quick and I'll do that. Those Amish people, though, dude. Like, I've hung out with an Amish kid that was on Rumspringer before.
Oh god.
Holy fuck, dude, they're crazy. Like, you think like, fraternity guys are, loose cannons, right? Nah, they got nothing on an Amish kid on Rumspringer, dude.
I literally just picture like Dwight Schrute partying.
It's-
That's it. Like that is the full scope of what I picture when I see like Amish stuff. Because he's like he's not
He's
fully
Pennsylvania Dutch.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's not like Amish, but he's like he grew up in that whole household and the culture. So you see him in certain episodes of The Office, and you're like, holy shit, like he's fucking crazy.
He's Mose. It's Mose, man. Mose.
Oh
is
my
the,
god,
Mose is the fucking crazy one.
Mo's the wild card, bro.
That fucking dude. They are that shit is just
Kidnaps Angela.
yeah. They crazy. They fucking crazy.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think an Amish like get together would be like?
Probably
it-
a lot of amazing food.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes,
oh,
dude.
yeah.
They can cook. Dude, the Amish make amazing food.
Like
I mean-
there's not close to where I grew up, but you can make a day trip out of it. But they had what was called Amish country, and you would just drive to like one of the closest communities, and they sell their food, their furniture, like they make good shit. So they're not completely disconnected from the 21st century. They understand they have to adapt and do certain things to survive. And that's where like they make little like clauses in their belief system and their way of life. Like they have to accept credit cards in order to sustain themselves. So they make certain little like as long as they're only using technology outside of their community, like they'll set up at flea markets and shit. So as long as they are using it outside of the confines of their community and they're doing it for the betterment of the community, they'll allow certain things like that. So man, that Rumspringa stuff, that's fucking crazy.
That's
You gotta
legit.
think. That's what I think they do it at 16 or 18. I think it's 16 to 18,
It's six-
right?
Yeah.
So they've been basically repressed their whole fucking life, and they finally get to act out and be the fool.
Uh-huh.
So it's all that coming out at once.
Oh yeah, they're fucking, like I said, man. I used to watch them when I was working for that private security company. We'd catch them fucking. I was doing loss prevention when I started. They'd dumpster dive and steal like the bread that they would throw away from the grocery store because they would take it back and feed it to their animals. And they'd look for pop bottles and shit in there, and it's like they were like, well, we want you to go out and tell them they can't take the bread. I'm like, I'm not going out and telling them they can't take bread you threw in a dumpster. I'm like, I'm not telling them, they're feeding their animals with it. I'm like, what? Why? What does that hurt? It's getting, you're throwing away bread in plastic bags that are non-biodegradable. They're going to go feed those feed that bread to their animals. I'm like, why am I gonna give them a citation for that? No, I'm not doing that. That was one of the many times I had to talk to court. They had a corporate security.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who happened to be a friend of mine. So it was all good until I laughed. They fired me the day I came back from my honeymoon in Jamaica.
Nice.
Like literally, HR, my supervisor calls me and she's like, "Hey Pete, it's Sandy, and we've got and this is Debbie from HR." I'm like, "Oh, you guys are firing me," and they both got quiet. I knew right away. I'm like, I'm not stupid. You think I've never been fired from a fucking job before?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hell no. So they call me and they're like, well, we want to tell you that we want you to reapply, and we want to hire you to work at our armed division. I'm like, oh really? Where? They're like, well, they need guards for Camp Grayling, which is the military installation north of me. They do a lot of guard maneuvers there, and they're like, well, they're always hiring gate guards. I'm like, no. Nope, not catching not doing it. Nope, not for $12 an hour with a 9 milli. Nope. Don't think so.
What's your other article you got for us, Cody?
Well, I got right here a little bit of a supernatural ghost article. So,
all right,
for all of you that don't know, I'm really into like supernatural ghost spirits type of stuff. I mean, alien and UFO stuff's really cool, and Sasquatch and all those urban legends, but this stuff really interests me. And I've talked about it on my channel a little bit. I've talked about it here on the boardroom before, but I don't really touch on it too much, just because it from time to time it can like bring people down or bring the mood down, just because of like the history behind certain haunted places and stuff like that. So I really enjoy like doing the Florida Man articles as well, but this one, just because of like what's going on with the whole like virus thing, and I think this was pretty cool and it's good enough to share. So man forced to self-isolate alone in ghost town with chilling past and spirits. So I thought this was pretty neat. A huge snowstorm means Brent Underwood is spending coronavirus lockdown in Cerro Gordo in California, where he claims he believes the ghosts of past residents are making things move during the night, which is pretty crazy. And this guy's got a weird hat on, so cool, good for you. He looks like Will Forte a little bit in character.
He does.
Fascinated by his terrifying past, entrepreneur Brent Underwood bought an abandoned Californian mining town for $1.4 million. First of all, Brent, I didn't even know you can buy towns like that.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, I don't have $1.4 million, so I would totally take a loan out from the bank to do that. But anyways,
I need 1.4
please.
million. I'm gonna buy a town.
They're like, what?
Yeah, there are entire towns, even over in Europe, where you like. There was one. There's like a town that someone, I think it's Italy or France, maybe Spain. They're giving the town away for free, but you have to apply for it, and you have to prove that you have the funds to fix everything and have a plan in place to bring the town back to life. So continue.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
But he visits Cerro Gordo, which has just 22 buildings and has been the subject of a paranormal TV show every month to explore. I'm pretty sure they meant to say explore. But his most recent visit has ended up being a lot longer than the week he had planned, as heavy snowfall means he's now trapped there alone for the entirety of the virus shutdown. He has no running out of water. He already ran out of fresh food, and to make things even more terrifying, he's noticed a lot of spooky things going on. The next town is several miles away, and Brent knows a few people there who he can contact if things get really bad. But he doesn't believe it will get to that point. Well, I hope so. That's actually not that bad looking. I mean, it's up to his waist in snow, but it's kind of cool looking. I'm from Florida, so snow is cool to me, but I'm sure you guys probably fucking hate it.
We got hit with a blizzard the other night.
Yeah. Let me see. He told the New York Post, "When I first got out there, I was in a t-shirt and enjoying myself, and then it snowed for 4 days straight, and now there's no way to get out." Brent claims the old mining town has a chilling past, saying the residents used to be left to govern themselves, resulting in an average of a murder a week. Jeez. Good God.
Sounds like Detroit or Flint.
Oh my god!
I mean, that's an average afternoon. That's an afternoon there.
Like Chicago, bro. Jeez. That's kind of cool. I mean, it'd be cool to live in like a little like cabin, a little wooden house like that for a little bit. But I mean,
he's gonna be fucked when the grab boys start showing up.
Graboids. Oh shit.
I need to look at where this town's at, like on the map.
Bert, where's the elephant gun?
Yeah.
Bullet holes still cover the walls of many of the buildings, and Brent's home is above an old collapsed mine, which still holds the bodies of the men who died in the tragic accident. Holy shit. He said, in quote, "I stay in the room with the child ghosts, but I have yet to see them." Okay, Brent. What? So see, this is a very odd town. It just outlooks like the desert and shit.
Is that paradise? Doesn't that look like it, Sal?
A little bit, yeah.
Was it Paradise Valley? Was it what
I think so.
That looks like it, man. I'm waiting for Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon to roll up.
This is creepy, dude. I would not want to go there.
I'd love it.
You'd love it.
I think it'd be cool to check out. Absolutely.
Let's make a Fandom Menace town. Just all of us in the Fandom Menace just live here.
Hey, have a great night, Chris Wicks, man. Thanks for stopping in, brother. Appreciate you.
Peace out, dude. Be safe, man.
I will hit you up soon, brother. I'm sorry I missed your call the other night.
All right, so here's a cool picture of, I guess, a bar. That's pretty neat.
It is. That's a nice lookout.
He bought the town for 1.4 million. That's insane, dude. Like, the fact that, like, okay, I want to go buy a city. Like, what?
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to think. All he really needs to do, like, if he wants to live there, it's one thing. But for 1.4 million, if you get the town and the mine, if he can find an investor or someone who wants to reopen that mine, then he'll make his money back like overnight.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
I mean, he could, I don't know, get all the bodies and shit, and probably just donate them to a museum or something.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be pretty cool. But end quote, "Things are moving around. I'm seeing curtains move. I'm hearing things in the night. There's no draft, but the things drop inside of houses. Brent is living in a house that was built in 1871. It has no running water. He has no idea when the snow will melt and he'll be able to leave." That's doesn't look terrible, but I'm not there, so I have no idea. But he's been forced to melt snow, and his limited supply of fresh food has been exhausted. So he's living off of rice and cans of tuna, some of which has expired. Nice. The town is normally looked after by caretaker Robert Desmarais, whatever. But he's staying with his wife away from the town during the lockdown. So, okay, that's it. Oh, he has no idea when the snow will melt, so he has no idea how long he'll be stuck in this town. The lockdown means Brent has had a lot of time to explore and go through the former residents' possessions. Among his finds is an old VHS copy of The Shining. What the fuck?
That seems apropos that's there.
But he hasn't quite worked up the courage to watch it yet. Well, do you have a VHS player?
Because it's a snuff film.
Yeah.
It's not The Shining.
No.
Is that it? Seriously?
That's it.
It just leaves you like on this weird.
There's
he found a
murders.
copy of The Shining. That's it.
There's murders on that fucking tape.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah, I bet you. There's about two or three murders recorded on that damn thing. So
He looks like a guy that would buy a ghost town.
I'd buy a ghost town if I had the money. Hell yeah.
I know, really. Like, why not?
You could just recreate like Red Dead Redemption or something.
No, I'd just buy it up, and I'd probably pick the biggest building, form it into my house, and then set up booby traps all the way up to it.
Be
Just
like
make it like a paintball like course or something.
Who did that in Fear? They did that in Fear the Walking Dead. What's his name? Garrett Dillahunt's character. Garrett Dillahunt was on Deadwood, and he is one of the only characters I like on Fear the Walking Dead still. And yeah, he was he found an old Western town, like, was it called something Gulch, that he used to work at and do his trick shooting at.
Mm-hmm.
And they went there and tried to live there for a minute.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That would be I'm not gonna lie, that'd be kind of cool. I'm not like, I believe in the paranormal, so that stuff really doesn't bother me too much.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys had any like haunting like experiences or anything with spirits or anything kind of spooky for that matter?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's a long story. We don't have the time for me to tell that story.
Yeah. Same here. I'm long-winded anyway. That'll be for next boardroom.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. So tune
Okay.
in next week to hear our personal ghost stories.
Leave them wanting more.
Hell yeah.
Leave them
There you
wanting
go.
more. We'll be back. Well, yeah, we'll be back with another episode next Wednesday night.
Yes, sir.
So you get 2 weeks in a row out of us.
3
Ladies
weeks.
and- Three. Well, yeah, three. Geez, ladies and gents, 3 weeks. I forgot. But yeah, so we're about at the point in the show where we're going to kind of take it home. So I'll start up here with Mr. Cody. Let me give you the solo screen, and there you go, sir.
Ooh, this is fancy. I like this. But yeah, thanks guys for hanging out with us and interacting with us with the chat. That's really cool. And next week we'll be back on here on my channel on Goober Brothers Entertainment. I'm going to be having a couple people on here on my channel to do some reviews. I got my buddy Aaron. He lives in Orlando. He's one of my buddies I met in college. We're going to be doing a review of a 2-year after release of Battlefront 2. So that game is still not fucking done being updated after 2 years. So they keep adding a bunch of weird shit. So, but yeah, we're going to do a review of that. And then my buddy Thomas that I've been having on the channel recently, he's going to be on here. We're going to talk a little bit more about Ash versus the Evil Dead. And he just finished that show up. And we're going to talk a little bit more Star Wars. So that's what I got going on.
All right. Let's go over to the Don, 2 Cents Toys, Salvador.
Yes. So I have currently slated. I've got 2 more reviews. Well, technically, was it probably 6 reviews? Because I still have to film 2 more. But for those that like the custom videos, I have 2 of those coming in the week. They're uploaded, ready to go. They're just coming out sometime this week, I believe. And that's really about it. Slated to get some new toys arriving. I've gotten the phone calls saying that they're waiting to be picked up, but they have street dates on them. So if you like the Star Wars, or you like me painting action figures, or you like the Marvel figures and stuff, then head on over, subscribe. I have, probably 160 back catalog videos at this point that you can delve into if you want. And yeah, so if you like toys and toy talk, I'm your guy.
Thank you, sir. And let's see. I've got tomorrow night off. I'm not streaming tomorrow night. I know it's what, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is the 3rd night in a row, but I'm not doing any streaming tomorrow. You will get a single release video out of me tomorrow, though. I am going to do a focus video on Star Wars and this female centric show that they're creating, and more specifically the showrunner of this, the writer. I did find her Twitter page, and I'm going to be combing through that tonight. And yes, don't adjust your screens. I do look a little bit different. The big goatee is gone for now, making way for the Bob Ross beard to come back in. But yeah, so Friday night I'll be over on Raiders of the Lost Flicks Live. And I want to say we got a programming note. I do have a change to the programming for this weekend. I had announced the UHF 200 subscriber watch party this weekend, but I'm going to have to bump that back a week due to the fact that my wife will probably murder me if I stream on Saturday night instead of spending time with her. So there you go, fuckers. I'm not an incel. See, I have a wife. The few trolls out there like to call me an incel. It's kind of funny because I'm married and have a kid, but hey, you know,
Now you're just voluntarily celibate.
Exactly. That's what marriage is, man. Especially having a 4-year-old. They're little, kids are cock blocks by nature, dude. They are. But no, seriously, we're gonna move the UHF watch party to the following weekend, which I believe will be May 3rd. Is next Saturday, or May 2nd. I'm sorry. So it'll be May 2nd. Will be the date of that. And yeah, if it's not on YouTube, I'm sorry. So if you can get a hold of a copy on DVD, or you have it on a streaming service that you subscribe to, please come join us. I'll have the link up and everything like that. So, and we'll do a timer so you can join us for some UHF goodness. I'm pretty sure, Sal, you were going to join us for that, weren't you?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to
it on
have
Blu-ray. I'll try to figure out a way to watch it at the same time.
Yep, we're going to have a packed house for that one. So it'll be fun. That'll be fun. I know Phoenix is going to join us from Loitering in Wonderland. Jared, Mad Dog Warren from the the Super Happy Fun Time Wrestling podcast will be joining us as well, as will Groove from Raiders. So we're gonna have a big stream that night, and it's a fun movie. I absolutely love that movie. So yeah, we'll be checking that out. Yeah, UHF. That's what I'm talking about, Alan. Absolutely, Weird Al's movie. With one of the best in-movie promo scenes with Spatula City. So this has been the Boardroom. I'd like to thank Alan Yaskovitz, Keely Chow, Franchise History TV, Raiders of the Lost Flicks, Admiral Tiberius, Ray's Double Dong. Let's see who else was here tonight. Looking for names. I know there was a couple more up here earlier. There was something, Ray Shield. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. I really appreciate it. And we will be back we'll be at Goober Brothers next Wednesday night. The Boardroom will be over there.
Yeah.
And you can join us right back here Monday night for episode 98. We have 98, 99, and then the third episode down the road is number 100. So yeah, I forgot. There's another Stool Bend review that's going to be coming out. I know you guys like those. The Cleveland Brown reviews, those are hard on me, but you know what? You deserve it. So Cleveland Brown has taken on Avenging Force, Halloween 2018. His next undertaking will be a 1-year retrospective of Avengers Endgame by Cleveland Brown. So I'll leave you with that for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Digest that one. That'll be coming soon. To the Place to Be Reviews. So I have been Etep Wokuian right here in the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of yous. I'd like to thank my brothers, Commander Cody from Goober Brothers Entertainment, the Don Salvador from 2 Cents Toys. Go subscribe to those channels if you haven't already. And I'd like to say, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. And if I don't see you, well, you know the rest. Love you guys. Thanks for joining us. Be safe out there and have a great evening.
Have a good night, guys. Later.